What is Ambali and how can these millets can be taken in the form of the Ambali? So the probiotics are very important. And when you take a millet, do not mix the millet. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of viewers as well as the subscribers asked us about the millet, and that's why I came here with the shopping aisle. I want to show you the different types of millet that is available. So we have the ragi millet, we have brown top millet, we have bajra millet, which is the kambu, and then we also have the proso millet, and then it should say unpolished, so that's a good thing, and also kodo millet, and then we also have the barnyard millet. So these are all the forms of the millet that is available in the store. So I'm going to go back to my studio and I'm going to discuss with you what are all the 5 positive millets, and also I'm going to discuss with you regarding the Ambali so that you will benefit from them. So hang on with me, let's get into the studio. So welcome back to my studio here. So today in the grocery shopping, I showed you what are all the different types of millets are available. So now I'm going to talk to you about the 5 positive millets and how can we take safely. And these 5 positive millets are recommended by Dr. Kadirvalli sir, and many of you has asked many questions about how can we take that so that we can reverse many of these chronic diseases. So I also want to let you know that before when I moved here from India to US, there was a lot of aisle in the grocery section and I could not even find any millet. But in the last 5 years, I see that the trend have changed both in India as well as outside of India, that most as well as the many of these rice aisle is replaced by millets. So I think it's a very good trend that's upcoming, that people have been able to understand the benefits of the millet. So let's look into what are all the 5 positive millets. So the 5 positive millets are kodo, barnyard millet, finger millet, foxtail millet, as well as the brown top millet. These millet are positive millets because they have the highest amount of fiber in that. I have made a note of it. So the kodo millet has got 9% of fiber, barnyard millet has got 10%, little millet has got 9.8% of fiber, brown top millet has got the highest amount of fiber, which is 12.5, as well as the foxtail millet has got the 8% of the fiber. So the grains with the fiber, they are able to hold the carbohydrates. So when you eat rice, what happens is your sugar levels goes up, and then after a few hours, especially 2 to 3 hours later, your sugar levels go down, and especially you are started to look for food because you feel hungry even though you have eaten 2 to 3 hours before. But when you consume those millets, and especially you have to take the unpolished millets, because when they polish those millets or any grains, they tend to remove all the micro as well as the macro nutrients are lost with the polishing. So you have to take the unpolished millets to get the highest as well as the best benefits from them. When you take those millets, it has got some fiber in this grain, so it does not readily release this glucose into the system. Slow and steady amount of glucose is released into the system so that you don't get a spike of the blood glucose. And especially with someone who is diabetic, it's very important to take this millet because it does not cause a high spike of the blood glucose, and also you will stay less hungry for a longer period of time. And I could personally tell the difference when you eat rice. I feel that like after 2 to 3 hours you feel very hungry, but then when I eat the millet, I just feel like it is sustained release of glucose. I feel like I don't get hunger for the next 5 or 6 hours or few hours or until the end of the day. So that is the best benefit of taking these positive millets. So what are all the neutral millets or the neutral grains? I have made a note of it. So the pearl millet or the bajra, the finger millet or ragi, the sorghum or the jowar, and then the proso millet. So these are all the neutral millets. The reason why they are neutral millets is they do not have much fiber. Either they have like 2 to 4% of the fiber. So they do not have as much beneficial effects as the positive millets. So someone who is especially looking for lowering their blood glucose control, go for the positive millet. The positive millet has got good amount of fiber in those grains, so it can lower your cholesterol. And also women, especially if they have PCOD or infertility, they are looking for a weight loss, those millets taking consistently will also be be a good option for them, especially for the weight loss, cholesterol, diabetes, and the chronic diseases. These positive millets will be very helpful. The most important thing in the millet is it's not going to be beneficial if you take it one day or once a week and then you will not be able to see the benefits. So these positive millets has to be taken consistently. If you take it every day for 3 months or 6 months, definitely it will help you to improve your overall health with that. Another important question many of the viewers and subscribers have asked is, what is Ambali and how can these millets can be taken in the form of the Ambali so that we can get the good maximum benefits from that. So you can take one handful of those positive, any of those positive millets. I would just soak it overnight, especially for 6 to 8 hours, because I've seen that I have personally tried taking the millet without soaking because I did not know that is the best way to take it. And then I felt that it was causing me more bloating. And I've also talked to many of the people, they also said the same thing. They had bloating and it was not very helpful for them in terms of the lowering the glucose, cholesterol, or weight loss. So when you take the millet, when it is fermented or it is soaked, and that's the time you'll have the maximum benefits. So take a handful of any of those positive millets and soak it overnight or soak it for 6 to 8 hours. And then the next day you boil it, probably maybe in 10 to 15 minutes or maybe in 10 minutes it will be cooked. You have to cook with a large amount of water. If you take 1 cup of those positive millet, you have to boil it in 6 to 10 glasses of water. And then after it's done, and you have to cook that in the mud pot, because the mud pot has got lot amount of pores in it. When you cook it in a pressure cooker or any amount of pressure cooked, so you will lose the benefits of it. So when you cook in the mud pot, it has got pores in it, and that can also be very helpful for them to ferment that millet. So cover the cooked millet in the mud pot with a cotton cloth which has got some pores in it so that it could overnight ferment it. Make sure that you keep it for fermentation for 6 to 8 hours. So slowly the process of fermentation happens, and that's how you get the best benefits, because it adds into a large amount of probiotics in that. So the probiotics are very important because that will promote the culture of the good bacteria in our intestines. So we all have good bacteria in our intestines, which are the gut microbiomes, which are the healthy good bacteria in that. If you have a good amount of healthy bacteria, you will be able to fight against autoimmune diseases or other chronic conditions. So it's very important for us to include food which has got a good amount of probiotics in that. And especially those probiotics is more likely to get it when you consume food with the fiber, especially fruits, vegetables, or fermented foods are the ones that will improve your gut bacteria as well as the gut microbiomes, and which will give you support your immune system. So I'm going to give you 2 most important useful tips regarding the millet as well as the Ambali. So when you cook the Ambali, make sure to take the Ambali in the fresh available form. So make sure you finish the Ambali within the same day. Even if you cannot finish it, you can consume it in the next day, but you do not want to refrigerate it, because when you refrigerate it, it will remove the oxygen from the food. It makes it into anaerobic, so you do not get the good benefits of that. So make sure that you cook this Ambali as a fresh, and then we consume it in the same day. You will see the big benefits of that. I know it's difficult, especially it takes some time consuming, but if you can plan your day by soaking the millet before cooking and then soaking the millet after, let it to ferment after you cook. I know it takes a little bit of a planning in your schedule, but if you do that, you will see the good as well as the maximum benefits of the millets. And when you take a millet, do not mix the millet. This is a very important tip. Of all the 5 positive millet, if you are taking one millet, if you are cooking brown top millet, just stick with the brown top millet. Do not combine brown top millet with the finger millet or different millet, because you will not get a good benefit of it, and your body will not be able to absorb all of the nutrients at one time. So if you are going to cook one thing, so just stick with one positive millet. And that too, Dr. Valli always recommends us to take one millet at least for 2 to 3 days, and then any type of a millet, just you cook it, and then or the same millet for 2 days or maximum 3 days, and then you can switch to next millet after the second or the third day. So if you do it consistently, you will be able to see the big benefits of those millets. I hope this answers many of the questions that many of my viewers as well as the subscribers had about the millet. And thank you for supporting my recent podcast with Dr. Kadarvalli sir. I hope this is very helpful for many of you out there. I hope it answered a lot of your questions. And if you have any comments or questions about the millet, make sure to place that in the comments. I'm sure there is a lot of other creative moms out there who has a different recipes regarding the millet. And if you have your favorite food that you make with the millet, make sure to place that in your comments as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.